Hi AuthorTube! I'm Ray Richards and I just cleaned off my desk, so let's do something crafty. And today I figured we could have a little fun and make a book ourselves. Just like this one, we're gonna bind some books. If you're coming back to this video or you want to skip any boring parts, the link's down below for timestamps for what step I'm on. For this craft you'll need the paper that's going to go inside your notebook, your push pin, some thread and a needle, which you can get from a needle starter kit like this one, scissors, and something to make the cover with. You'll also want some kind of a ruler. So first here we're going to set up the page to bind a book. This is my short story, An Obtuse Label. It's 18 pages, but what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a book like a zine or something, so we're going to want to make it a little bit smaller. Make it shareable with everyone that can see my short stories on Patreon. This is a short story that I sent off to publication to the New England Review, and I just want a nice copy of it for myself so I can share it for people. So since we sent it off, it was in New Times Roman, so we're going to change that to a font that I actually like. Paper is 8.5 by 11, so 8.5 by half of 11 should be what we want. So a statement sign. Let's add a page number. Since it is a little bit smaller, we're going to make the font size a little bit smaller. Let's also make a title page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to save it as a PDF so I can print it out in a program that actually knows how to print out. So I have this in Adobe Reader. I have it set to print a booklet, so that's just what it's going to do. And it is 20 pages long. Yes, there we go. Layout, printer, booklet. I think we're good to go with sending that off to the printer. Okay, that was wrong. When you print it out, it should look like this, where there's an early page and a latter page. That way, it's all gonna fold together as a booklet. You're gonna want the paper folded in half, so I suggest you do it to every sheet individually. That way the fold is good and in the middle. Now cut out as much cover as you need. And none of this has to be exact, so you're doing it yourself. If you don't want to use scissors, you can use an X-Acto knife to go through, or some kind of a razor. Of course, make sure you're safe and you put the right razor through all of it, you know. Use a mat, don't scar up your nice table. You'll want to make 3 marks where you're going to put through the needles for the hole. So you want to go about halfway down the page. So that's a little bit 4 1/4 about. Then you want half of that. You just give it 2 or 3 inches either way. And then you'll want to make the same marks on the cover. Then you're going to take your push pin and you're going to push that pin through all 3 holes on every single sheet. Now I like to double push them through on the cover to make sure they all line up right. See, like, that, gross. We don't want that. I'm going to leave the pin pushed in the bottom one to kind of hold it all steady. I did that the first time I ran through and I really liked the results, so I'm going to do that again. Next we're going to take some thread. Let's go red. I'm going to get somewhere around 12 inches. I don't care, I'm not really precise. We're going to tie off whatever extra we have. So let's go like 24 inches for what I'm doing. At 4 feet from the outside. Oh, which button was it? This one. You want to press through the paper and pull it through. Go out from this one. And you pull it out. And go all the way to the bottom hole. Now, we're going to tie it off at the end. Just a couple simple little knots. Finally, we cut off whatever's extra. We trim the pages that we can trim either the pages or the cover to fit our binding. Now we have that double bound. There's our story. Tightly do the cover. And we shave off whatever we don't want. And then maybe you could throw it underneath the book so that keep that down. But that's how you bind your own book, and it's really great and fun, and it didn't take me that long the first time. It took me a while this time. I ran into some trouble, but no, it's a great way to either pad out a table if you're going to a fair and you don't have a lot of full published works. You can put a couple of experimental things, put them more in a zine size. If you want to throw out your work for free and go a little viral, you could do this. And then there's community centers where there are zines, and you can throw your zines or give them a couple of them there. Just kind of spread the word of mouth. If ever you're visiting a bigger city, look for a community center. You can drop off your short story as a zine or two. I definitely suggest if you're selling it that you maybe use the printer and print out a label to go in front of your cover, or else you could use actual cover stock. But so yeah, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you're going to use it, if you try it. I don't have any plans to go to any farmers markets or book shows now, but if I do, I'm probably going to use this for a couple of short stories, because this is a pretty thick page limit. This is 20 pages, and I probably wouldn't go any further than that because the pages are still kind of like bowed up from there. Maybe 10 pages at a time would have been a little bit better, but it's just easier to bind them all in one. If I was more experienced at this, I probably would have printed out twice, and then instead of binding just the once, I would have bound this one and then bound a second set there. Then it would just open up and the pages would be more even and nicer. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a Patreon you can check out if you want, though it's not strictly for other authors, it's for readers. But hey, whatever. And let me know if you want one of these, because I'm willing to part with my words.